has a lot more shit.
Okay, we're gonna call the meeting of the Wyomissing Zoning Hearing Board to order. We're here today for an application of the Iris Club Apartments LLC, owners of a property located at 1110 Fairview Avenue, is requesting a variance from section 602, residential accessory building structures and uses from the Borough Wyomissing zoning ordinance. Property is located in the R-2 Suburban Residential District. Property measures approximately 21,780 feet. That is square feet, and is conforming to the minimum lot size of 12,000. Property is a corner property with frontages along Fairview, Trent and Terrace Avenues. The property is further bordered at the remaining side property line by a residential parcel. The applicant intends to replace an existing 100 square foot shed with a new 280 square foot shed. The replacement shed is proposed to be placed 5 feet from the side property line. As the replacement shed exceeds the 100 square foot area threshold established by section 602, the minimum distance between the accessory structure and the side lot line is the zoning district side yard requirement of 15 feet. Applicant is seeking relief to reduce the minimum side yard setback of 15 feet by a total of 10 feet to allow the replacement shed to be placed 5 feet from the property line. Okay, I'll introduce the people at this end of the table. Michelle, you know, Najla Fatish, member of the zoning hearing board. Bob Ullman is a member of the zoning hearing board. Dan Becker is our counsel, and I'm David Rothwell. I'm the chairman of the zoning hearing board. And Mr. Becker is going to explain what we're going to do today.
Yes, so this afternoon, it's the applicant's burden of proof to establish why the relief being requested should be granted. We do that through testimony and documentary exhibits, which your attorney will help you to present today. You'll be able to do that through your testimony, and if you have any other witnesses, you'll do that as well. At the conclusion of your testimony, I see there's some residents that are here as well, so to the extent that they have any testimony or exhibits, they'll have the opportunity to present that, their exhibits in the testimony. If they just are here to listen, or they just have any statements they'd like to make at the end, they'll be given the opportunity to do that as well. After all testimony, exhibits, and statements have been made, the board will then go into an executive session and will deliberate on the requested relief. Typically, this board will render an oral decision at the conclusion of that deliberation. If they have 45 days in which to do so, and they will render a written decision at that period of time. Mike, do you have any questions about how we're going to proceed today?
No.
All right, that said, Mr. Chairman, over to you.
Okay, Counselor, it's up to you to make your appearance and present your testimony.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Mike Riggy, R-I-G-H-I. I'm an attorney for the Iris Club Apartments LLC, the applicant in this matter. And we have first witness, who is going to be our only witness, Michael Shermanic, the sole member and owner of the Iris Club Apartments LLC.
Oh, can you spell your last name, please?
C-H-E-R-V-A-N-I-C-K.
All right, we'd like to have the witnesses sworn.
Yes,
Michelle,
witness and Michelle, please.
Okay, would you like to raise your right hands? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Say, just keep your voice up for
Sure.
everybody, please.
Yeah.
And let me make just one adjustment. Okay, sorry.
Could you please state and spell your name again?
Michael J. Shermanic, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, J, C-H-E-R-V-A-N-I-C-K.
Are you the owner of the Iris Club Apartments LLC?
Yes.
Is the Iris, I'll just refer to it as the Iris Club. Does the Iris Club own the property in Borough, Wyomissing?
Yes.
Okay. Where's the property located?
1110 Fairview Avenue.
Did you
Counselor, you're going to have to speak up.
Sorry.
Please.
My apologies.
That's all right.
Did you complete an application for a variance pertaining to the property at Fairview Avenue?
Yes.
And what is the purpose of that application for variance?
replace the existing shed with a larger one in the same place.
And what area of the property is the existing shed located on?
From the back, it's the bottom right side of the property.
And did you attach a photograph of the shed's location with your application?
Yeah, I'll just,
I have additional copies. I don't know if it would be necessary for the board to view that. I think the photograph copy up there is probably better able to read than the copies I have.
That's fine, and we'll just mark that as applicant's exhibit number 1.
Yes, please. Thank you. And Mike, you heard the letter from Mr. Snyder read earlier regarding the zoning issues to be addressed at the hearing today. Is it correct and consistent with that letter that the shed is currently 5 feet from the property line on that side of the property?
yes,
The shed that you propose to replace the existing shed with, would that also be located 5 feet from the property line?
yes.
And what's the approximate size of the shed to be, the proposed shed?
14 by 20,
And how many square feet is that?
280.
And with regard to the property line at issue, who owns the adjacent property?
The Wyomissing Borough.
And do you know what that parcel is used for?
It's just it's 2 tracks for a staircase.
Is that, is, with regard to the nature of the property at Fairview Avenue, what can you tell me about the side of the property that's at issue here, particularly the area
It's,
covering the property line?
It's just like overgrown, like honeysuckle alongside of the steps on the side there. You can kind of see it's just,
With regard to the topography, is it flat or is it sloped?
it's on a steep slope.
Okay. And are there steps on the Borough property adjacent to yours?
Yes.
And are they used to get to Fairview Avenue down to the street to the rear of the Irish Club?
Yeah, Fairview Terrace.
And
I'm sorry.
Fairview Terrace.
And on the other side of the terrace, across the street from the rear door property, what kind of property is located there?
A park.
Do you know the common name for that park?
Happy Hollow Playground.
And with regard to the shed that you intend to replace the existing shed with, what is the purpose of that shed?
To store groundskeeping, snow removal equipment.
And why do you need to replace the current shed?
When it was originally put there, I ordered it thinking that was the biggest one I could get at the time, kind of flew with the permits, and I can't fit anything in it, so I kind of cut my losses and I put an overhang on it for tenants that might have bicycles, and it hasn't really been used since because I can't fit anything in it, it's too short.
And how do you currently use the property at Fairview Avenue?
It's apartments,
How many units does the property have?
6.
And did you previously obtain variance for the use of the property?
Yes.
And was that variance to be able to use it to use the property as a multi-resident?
Yes.
Are there any items you specifically need a new shed for to accommodate your use of the property consistent with the variance that you previously obtained?
Yes, the snow removal and groundskeeping.
So the items that you intend to store in this new shed and that require a larger shed that exists are going to be used in connection with the residential use of the property?
Directly involved in property maintenance.
And without the additional shed, what kinds of expenses would you incur in order to, well, let me ask it this way, if you were denied the variance today, what kinds of expenses would you incur?
Roughly $8,000 to $9,000 a year, depending on how much it snows.
And would that be for storage costs?
Just to transport all the equipment back and forth.
So your intent is to keep that equipment on site so you're able to use it in connection with the property and to maintain the property safely for the residents?
Yes.
refer you to the photograph, of the, well, that photograph that was submitted with your application, exhibit, applicant's exhibit 1. In the bottom right-hand corner, what, is the shed located in the bottom right-hand corner?
Yes.
And did you draw with a marker kind of a estimate as to what the new shed would look like?
Yeah, I drew roughly where 14 by 20 shed would land if it sat 5 feet from the property line like the existing shed.
And what is behind the building to the rear of the property, in proximity to the shed?
The parking lot.
Is that parking lot required as part of the previous variance you obtained for the property?
Yes, 2 spots per,
In person?
Per person.
yeah, 2 spots per person required.
If you were to move the location of the current shed or move the location of the proposed shed,
It would have to.
inward, would it be located on the driveway outside
Yeah.
the parking lot?
Yeah, it would be in the parking lot.
Would you incur cost to adjust the parking part? I'll say remove portion of the parking lot in order to anchor the shed.
Yeah, we would incur cost, but I'm not sure we could because we can't eliminate parking.
And again, you said looking at the front of the property from this photograph, the topography there is sloped. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's nowhere on the Fairview side to put any kind of storage.
And on the other side property line to the property, is that owned by the borough or another resident?
There's a
Who owns that
resident,
property?
Jonathan Scudder owns the next house.
It's one of the reasons why you haven't proposed to put a shed on that side of the property, so he would have no objections, or he would not have to look at a shed from his view.
There's no reason we should have to look at a shed. It's in a good spot.
Are you aware if there's any other location on the property you could install the proposed shed that would comply with other existing zoning ordinances and code ordinances the borough has in effect?
There isn't another spot for it, no.
To your knowledge, has anyone from the borough objected to the location of the shed, aside from the requiring a permit and going through a zoning variance process?
No.
To your knowledge, have there been any objections from any neighbors or surrounding landowners to the location of the proposed shed?
No, the neighbors directly on the sides actually offered to come to the hearing to support me if needed.
And to your knowledge, does the shed obstruct any vehicular traffic or passage?
No, it does not.
And the area behind the property that abuts, to the rear of the property that abuts Terrace Avenue, is that a straightaway or is there any kind of curve or bend in the road at that point?
It's a straight road.
And again, across the street is you park, correct?
Yes.
And just to follow up again, the location of the proposed shed is not any closer to the property line than the existing shed, is that correct?
That's correct. Same spot.
To your knowledge, would the proposed shed detract from the quality of the neighborhood in any way?
No, it'll be a nice shed, just like the one that's there.
And again, you would incur substantial costs if this variance was denied, and you're not able to store the additional equipment on the property to use in connection with the safety and maintenance of the property.
I wouldn't be recurring.
And did you submit in addition to the sketch plan you submitted with your application, did you submit a proposal by the licensed engineer?
I did.
And if you're granted the variance, would you intend to carry out the installation of the shed in conformance with the engineer's recommendations of the board?
Yes, I would.
Who is that engineer, for the record?
Copenhagen.
noxious or toxic substances in the shed, do you?
No.
And you intend to use it consistent with the purposes of the use of the residence in accordance with the variance you received previously?
Yes, just for maintenance of the building.
I think that's all. Thank you.
Questions?
I'm not sure, maybe I missed it, but are you buying a pre-made shed or have you already been building the shed on site?
Because of the size, it'll be pre-made, but put together there.
Do you have an idea what it's going to look like?
Yep. There's a picture of 14 weeks.
Why don't we mark that as applicant's exhibit number 3?
And that is a duplicate then of what you're gonna put up,
There'll be no man door, just the garage door on the side.
no little fencing.
No, no. That's for my kids to play.
Is there a plot plan?
Yes.
There was a plot, could I see that please?
So when you look at these,
This is a piece of
Why don't we mark the plot plan
Yeah.
as A4?
This is an additional copy.
Just a second. What do you want to see, David?
our founding fathers did us a favor. Every up and down strip is 25 foot exactly. So like the borough steps, 2 25 foot.
Oh,
Then everyone
the
is
original,
25. Yeah.
design plan.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy to figure out where stuff's gonna land.
Okay, it took me a little while to wake up to this. That's the old shed there?
That's the proposed new one.
This is the new one?
Yeah.
Can I follow up?
Oh, there's the steps, okay. The old one would be a small part of that,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So it's in the same location, but it's
Exactly.
a bigger
Same
shed.
spot. Yep.
And the existing one is close to 5 feet away from the
Yes.
border.
From the
From the border of this
border.
property.
So really the only difference is the proposed new one is 9 feet longer. The existing one actually has an overhang. So if you look at it straight down, it's really the same width as what I'm proposing. We're very close to it.
I put a drone over it.
I actually do a drone picture once.
We'll have to have another exhibit, but like, yeah, we'd like to see it out of curiosity.
Sure. That's me flying the drone there.
We mark the drone photograph as number 5, A5.
Oh, I see. That's kind of fun. Oh, and you're standing there too, okay.
Yeah, for
all right.
scale.
Yeah. Terrorizing the neighbors, where you were?
Actually use it to see if the gutters are clogged.
What?
To check the gutters.
Oh,
Make sure they're clean.
that's actually a
That's
great
a good
idea. I
smart
never
idea.
thought about that.
I have to get a lift to clean them, so I want to make sure they're dirty first.
I like that.
So right now, you have your equipment off-site and you have to haul them in
Yeah.
every time.
When it snows real bad, I actually have to drive it over, because I can't get a trailer out. So you see me in a little snow pad, scooping down Wyomissing Boulevard, it snows a lot. It's not ideal.
I don't know that's exactly germane, but how have you been doing?
If it snows a lot, I actually put on overalls and I drive equipment.
No, I actually,
Yeah.
how are you doing with the the
Oh.
apartments and everything.
Good. Dave and Mark, you tell me.
Happy tenant.
You guys are moving in there?
Yeah, 2 years,
Boy, I missed that.
back in the same neighborhood.
They're in the,
Yeah, you sure are, holy mackerel.
they got married in their apartment or their reception.
Reception.
At our stuff, yeah.
The return of crime.
Yeah. Both of my sisters were married there too.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Back in the good old days,
Yeah,
these,
you got
these are
that.
the only people I know in Wyomissing that have been here longer than I have.
So David Barber, just the stenographer asked me to make sure we get your names for the record, so if you just put on the record.
Barbara Reeser and David Reeser, R-E-E-S-E-R.
Okay.
Michael, I think you had some follow-up questions you wanted to ask? Is that
Yes,
right?
just briefly to clarify, I think you might have it done, but, I'd like to direct your attention to the, sketch plan. So is it correct that the proposed shed will be located in the same place as the existing shed?
Yes, the exact same location.
And on the sketch plan, the existing shed would be where the proposed shed is shown on that plan?
Yes, it will.
And it's sort of subsumed in your drawing of the
Exactly.
proposed shed. And you want was it also correct then that the existing shed, or I'm sorry, the proposed shed will be no closer to the property line than the current shed? Correct. And I think the whole purpose of the need for the variance in this situation is because your proposed shed is going to be over 100 square feet, whereas the existing one is conforming and does not exceed 100 square feet. Is that correct?
Correct.
Any further questions? Further testimony?
Do you want
It's up to you. It's up to you.
What's that?
They want to know if they want any other witnesses. I think that's up to them. They have to make that decision.
You guys have anything you wanna add?
I think we understand.
Yeah.
No?
Comment?
Just here for the show, huh?
Well, you just wanna see what's going on.
May I just simply ask if they're in support of the
Sure.
application?
So why don't we just, hold on one second, why don't we swear them in if they're gonna provide testimony again? So, no, because he's gonna ask the questions.
Oh, he's gonna ask him some
Yeah.
questions, I'm sorry,
So,
just that,
yeah,
okay.
so why don't we have you both sworn in? He wants to
Yes.
ask you some questions. Barbara and Dave, if you just raise your right hand, and then we'll have you sworn in.
Okay, just a second. Okay, you swear or affirm the testimonies you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Good afternoon. My name's Mike Brady. I'm the attorney for the Irish Club in this matter. Just briefly, since you guys are here present, could you each state your name?
Barbara Reeser,
David Reeser.
And Barbara, where do you reside?
1110 Fairview Avenue.
Is that at the Irish Club Apartments?
It is.
And are you in support of the applicant's zoning variance application that's at issue today?
Yes.
And Mr. Reeser, where do you reside?
1110 Fairview Avenue.
And are you in support of the applicant's application for zoning variance that's being considered today?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a question?
Quick one. The
And Adrian, what's your last name?
JD, J-A-D-I-C. The 25-foot stretch between, which I understand it would be his property line and the steps, that little strip there. Does that belong to the city, to the borough?
Yes.
So basically the steps are fully contained, so the shed will not be near the steps are fully contained, those two 25-foot strips, left and right, those are city property.
Yes.
Thank you, that's all.
Okay. That's all, we have some legal housekeeping to do.
So you don't have any further testimony? No. For the admission submission of your exhibits? So, at this point in time, we'll call Michelle there. Michelle, you've been previously sworn. Matt, you in your capacity as the secretary for the zoning meeting. What are your duties and responsibilities?
I prepared a public notice that was advertised in the Reading Eagle on August 18th and August 25th of 2021. That same notice was posted on the subject property on August 17th of 2021 at approximately 9 a.m. and was also mailed to all adjacent property owners located within at least 300 feet on August 11th of 2021 at approximately 8:30 a.m.
You have a copy of those documents with you today?
I do.
Mark those as exhibit number 1. Now, in your capacity as the zoning officer of the borough, were you involved with this particular?
I was not, because I am only the commercial zoning officer.
Are you familiar with the letter that was issued by Craftwood Services?
Yes, I do have a copy of Joe Nider's memo dated August 13th of 2021, which summarizes the application and relief requested. I also have an affidavit from Mr. Nider stating that he is the duly appointed residential zoning officer and further certifies he has reviewed and provided a summary memo to the board relative to the application. Subject of today's hearing, he is on vacation in Greece right now, celebrating his 25th honeymoon, which is why he is not able to attend the hearing today.
All right, we'll mark those as board exhibit number 2. In either your capacity as the secretary to the zoning hearing board or the zoning officer of the borough, any further information?
The only thing I would add is obviously the borough is the property owner that would be most impacted by relief being granted. No one on borough council or otherwise from the borough has made me aware of any objections to the application.
Okay, with that, we'll adjourn the meeting for an executive session and hopefully reach a conclusion for you this afternoon, if you all will excuse us.
You just want to wait the whole way?
Yeah, sure.
Nice to see the board back to order. Waiting for the guy that's gonna make the motion to get off the phone.
Take pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure. Now you have to make a motion.
Oh.
Oh, this way.
I move that we grant the request of the Iris Club, the owner of the Iris Club LLC, for a variance from section 602.1.a residential accessory building structure and uses for the Borough Wyomissing zoning ordinance in order to construct a 14-foot by 20-foot shed that will be located 5 feet from the side property line, subject to conditions as directed by our solicitor.
Number 1 is you install landscaping along the side of the new shed facing Terrace Avenue. Number 2, comply with all testimony provided today and all sorts provided today. 3, comply with all rules, regulations, laws, and ordinances that are applicable to the shed and its construction installation. Number 4, can pay for all permits. Number 5, relief that's being granted must put the shed within 1 year of the date of the relief that's being granted. Number 6, this decision is binding upon all heirs and sons.
Second motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Any other questions?
Relief is granted.
When you say landscape, you just mean like continue the rock wall that's there?
Some bushes.
Or you don't push it off? I'm just, because it's a cliff, there's.
It was just attention to some detail around.
Yeah, I
you
know,
know,
big
Make it look
boulder-
nice.
Boulder wall there.
Okay, make it look nice.
I'll make it more bouldery.
Okay, all right. That'll be fine.
Rock style.
Is it that?
It's really
Yeah.
steep.
Is it? Okay.
It's hard.
That's all stone dropping off from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I put the stone there so it wasn't like a cliff.
Can you put a sycamore tree there?
That was a subject of our first hearing in case you didn't get that
Okay.
joke.
It's a joke, it's not had anything to do with it.
But, all right, just maintain. Yeah.
So do we wanna change that to just,
Yes.
just to maintain in a nice little fashion?
The appearance from Terrace Avenue.
Right.
No problem.
Okay, so we change that condition there.
That's satisfactory.
Stay the home with
Okay. We're done? All right. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marvin, Dave, I'll be up in like 10 minutes.
that. Okay.
Yeah, some, it's.
Because I'm gonna come right up.